Hurricane Nana is headed for landfall. Hello, I'm Mike Naso with this late night, early morning video update on the fifth hurricane of the season, Hurricane Nana, which is closing in on the coast of Belize and Guatemala. You can see it there on the left side of your screen. Tiny little thing, hurricane force winds only extend out 10 miles, but the Air Force was flying in there and found out indeed that Nana has become a hurricane. Now here's the latest as of 10 p.m. Central, 11 p.m. Eastern. Nana was at 17.0 north, 87.5 west, moving straight to the west at 16, 75-mile-an-hour winds, so it's a minimal hurricane. Out of the 5 hurricanes we've had, they've all been minimal hurricanes except for Laura, which was almost a Category 5. So far we've got 5 hurricanes this year and only 1 major, but that is very likely to change. You can see the track here through time. It's going to be over Guatemala later today, and then by tonight be way here over Mexico and dissipate before it hits the Pacific Ocean by Friday. Nana will be no more, and we won't have to deal with it. I'll tell you, the good news about this quick motion here is the rainfall. This area is very susceptible to rainfall. Ask anybody in Belize about Hurricane Keith. October 2000, forget about it. They'd know exactly what you're talking about. Keith sat there off San Pedro and Ambergris Key and all that right near Chetumal, and just totally rained on them and battered them for a day, day and a half. Nana's not going to be like that. This thing's going to slide in and slide out very quickly, and so the bad weather should not be prolonged. You can definitely see, though, we do have those hurricane warnings in effect for the coast of Belize from Belize City southward all the way down to the Belize-Guatemala border, and a hurricane watch in effect for the coast of Belize north of Belize City to the Belize-Mexican border. We also have tropical storm warnings here on the Yucatan and areas of Guatemala, and a tropical storm watch for the whole north coast of Honduras, and a warning for these little islands here. Remember, just because the system's small doesn't mean you might not get clipped by those tropical storm winds. I gotta tell you, the satellite doesn't look that impressive. It doesn't have a well-defined eye or anything like that, but it looks like right in here is where the eye of the hurricane, the center of the hurricane is, and it's bursting. And so that is a sign of intensification. It really has dealt with this northerly flow here, this northeasterly wind shear, as the high pressure just builds to its north so strongly that it's pushing Nana almost west-southwest now, like we said yesterday. That is great news for the United States, because that means there was no way that it was going to be able to get up into the Gulf of Mexico, but nevertheless bad news down there for Guatemala and Belize with the threat of heavy rainfall and gusty winds. Here's the 11 p.m. Eastern Time location, and you can surmise the system's moved closer than that by now, but you can see it's headed in the general direction of Dangriga, and that is a city there along the coastline of Belize. And to be honest with you, it looks like a decent little town. So if you're in that area here, all these little areas on the beach, Pelican Beach Resort, and the hotels and whatnot, you guys should be taking cover and getting ready as the hurricane approaches, because there's a hurricane right offshore your location. You can see more familiar areas like Belize City up here to the north, and that area appears to be out of the range of the hurricane winds. Again, they're very, very close to the center, and so hopefully it stays over a more rural area, but again, we can't tell which locale is going to get hit directly, and we will see the pictures in the morning. Hopefully the impact is not too severe. A Category 1 hurricane, what are we looking at? We're looking at something in the some damage range down here. So it is still a hurricane, and it's still very much a threat, but thankfully Nana had enough of that wind shear to where it wasn't able to become a major hurricane, a Category 3, 4, or 5, like Laura was a couple of days back. Look at that dominant high pressure here off the eastern seaboard. Look at this. This clockwise flow is just shoving our little Nana right into the area there of Central America and Belize. There was no way, if this thing backed off, Nana would have probably slid up into the Gulf of Mexico. There was no way with that high. And that's actually, this flow here is what kept Nana sheared and kept it from becoming a stronger hurricane than it already did. So here's the key messages for Hurricane Nana. Number 1, hurricane conditions and dangerous surge will spread onshore along portions of the coast of Belize within that hurricane warning area over the next, say, 6 to 12 hours. into early Thursday. Number 2, tropical storm conditions expected in Belize, the Bay Islands, Guatemala, and even the Yucatan of Mexico. And then number 3, the heavy rainfall. 8 to 12 inches could cause flash flooding. Remember, just because it's moving quickly doesn't mean that the areas that get the rain won't get heavy downpours. And the flash flooding threat is there for Belize, Guatemala, and portions of Mexico and the Yucatan. Okay, so we're going to continue to watch as Nana pushes inland the impacts there. So I'm Mike Naso with the latest on Hurricane Nana, this special late night update. As our Category 1 hurricane nears landfall, you can see a lot of bursting heavy rain there, right near the coastline of Belize and Guatemala, as it continues towards the west at about 16 miles per hour. By this time tomorrow, it should be way over Mexico dissipating, and then we're going to watch what's headed off Africa, as we could have more tropical systems as we head towards the peak of the season. I'm Mike Naso with the special Hurricane Nana video update. I'll talk to you guys next time.